Hi, I'm Mike with Northwest School of Fly Fishing. What you've got here is a series of videos on the emergers. And the emerger is the most important dry fly that you can possibly have in your fly box. There's 5 volumes here. So go ahead and view this one. And for the other volumes, just go to our channel, Northwest School of Fly Fishing channel, and you can view the rest of the videos there. In order to define what an emerger is and how important it is, we first have to talk a little bit about the science of what an emerger is. The science of emergers is unquestioned. There's not a fly fisherman on earth that could argue or prove another theory of what emergers are. They are what they are. They're scientific proof, and you need to understand a little bit about that. So when we talk about emergers, why are they leaving the river? Well, they're leaving the world, the bottom of the river, because it's a metamorphosis. All aquatic insects go through a metamorphosis, or they emerge or hatch. For them to do that, they have to leave the bottom of the river to swim to surface. So when they get to the surface, they're going to change. They're going to break the surface, and they're going to crack out of their nymphal shucks and crawl out an adult mayfly. All those things are part of being an emerger. So when we look at the life cycle of a mayfly, it starts out as an egg. From an egg, it grows into a nymph. Now, it might be molting 24 times over the course of the year to reach the size it is at its time of emergence. But from there, then it becomes an emerger. Mother Nature will ding it, and it will begin that change inside of its body from a blood and guts of an aquatic insect into a full-on winged adult. From there, it actually will rise to the surface, as we're talking about, pop out, and that's called the dun stage, and then it proceeds with its metamorphosis and becomes an adult. What we're talking about is the emerger stage and the science of emergers. So here's the queer thing about this, and it confuses a lot of people, is what are you talking about? I don't quite get this. Well, let me put it this way. If I have in my hand here a black pen fly, and say this black pen fly is a black pen nymph, and I reach down and I grab it from the bottom of the river. And the same token, say this is a black pen emerger, and I reach up and I grab it from the surface. So in one hand I have a pen fly nymph, in the other hand I have a pen fly emerger. If I take them behind my back and I mix them up and I bring them back out to you, I'll ask you now, my question to you is, which one's the nymph and which one's the emerger? Well, you can't tell the difference. You see what I'm trying to say now? So what does an emerger look like? It looks like the nymph. This confuses a lot of people, but this is science. So how do you know the difference between a nymph and an emerger? Well, 2 ways. One, a nymph lives on the bottom of the river, and an emerger is at the surface. So we're right back to full circle now. The other way is, if I take a hammer and I smash this one and a bunch of blood and guts come out, I know it's the nymph. If I smash this one, there's a little butterfly inside. That's what we're talking about. So it's an emerger when it hits the surface. It's an emerger when it breaks the surface. It's still an emerger. It's not an emerger anymore when it's no longer under the surface and floating legs on, wings up down the river. That becomes a dry fly.